Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, we are in our gym. But in this video, we're not going to be doing anything here in the gym. We're actually going to be talking about supplements. So anyone that is a new person starting to lift, starting to exercise, or anyone that's like intermediate and they want to know a little bit more about, should I be taking this? Should I be taking anything at all? Should I be taking stacks? Should I be doing pre-workout? All of these questions, I'm going to try to simplify that stuff for you. Again, this is just for people starting out, maybe some intermediate people that have been doing it for a little while. This is just general stuff that you ask any huge bodybuilder or triathlete or whatever, they're going to tell you pretty much the same thing. And it's a lot easier than you might think. So let's get out of here, go in the kitchen. First things first, protein. A lot of people ask, do I do protein? What kind of protein, etc.? I'll let you know. Protein is always on everyone's #1 list, and it should be. And of course, everything I say here, someone is going to say the opposite. So take everything that you ever hear with a grain of salt, because everyone says something negative. You're like, water's good. You're going to find someone that says water's bad. It gives you cancer. Just remember that. So protein. Protein is fantastic. There are people say that you don't need protein, you get it from your diet. That may be true, but it depends on your diet. Do you have a high protein diet or do you not? This stuff is absolutely amazing because it gives you all the protein that you need for your work. Do 2 scoops a day. That should more than supplement any deficiencies that you're having. Any extra protein you have, it's just like any extra carbs or fats that you have. It's gonna either be stored as fat or be turned into energy for your body for your daily activities. It's totally fine if you have a little bit too much protein, but it's bad if you don't have enough protein because then you can't build your muscles. Supplement protein, it's a nice little shake. You can do so many things with it. Look at all the recipes, that's insane. So I highly recommend it for anyone in any training level. So I decided to look at all the different types of proteins that are currently available just to educate myself a little bit more. And it's kind of like the situation with milk. All of the above. It's ridiculous. But I always go try and true, just the best that you can get is whey protein. If you're vegetarian, they do have plant-based proteins. Some of them, you have to get a really high quality because some of those are really grainy, horrible. But a whey protein is the best one to get. That comes from beef, I believe. It comes from cows. The only thing that you have to worry about is if you're lactose intolerant, because it can create some gastric distress unless you get a very high quality. So I am lactose intolerant, but Gold Standard is a very clean, very well done. I forgot what they do. Is some sort of processing that they do with it. It gets rid of all the lactose that is in protein. I guess I don't know. A lot of science stuff that I don't know. But Gold Standard is amazing. If you want to go highest end that you can, there's something called like Hydro Whey Isolate. I think it's like the best you can get. It's the most expensive one. It absorbs faster. If you've got the money, grab that one. If not, I always suggest Gold Standard. Never had any issues. The flavoring's really good. Definitely check. There's so many out there. It's hard to go through them. Check the ingredients, make sure there's not a lot of filler and nasty stuff. Gold Standard also has a natural version, which is, it's kind of like the peanut butter that you have. You have peanut butter with a bunch of extra stuff, and then the naturals, which has fewer ingredients, but it's the same thing. I don't know why they don't just change it. So as far as the different types of protein, there's whey protein, there's plant-based protein, there's pea protein, there's so many different types of protein. #1 best protein that you can have is going to be your whey protein. I never suggest any sort of soy proteins, anything with soy. Completely get that out of your diet. Soy is just not good for you in high quantities like it is. So I'm looking at all these different types that are here. Casein, I've heard casein's a pretty good one. So that would be a good runner-up to whey. And also the other one I would suggest always is egg. Like white egg protein. I believe Rich Piana created his own egg crystals, basically just crystallized eggs. Those are fantastic. It's a very pure source of protein, but Out of all of the ones, those would be the only ones I would recommend. Next up, we have creatine monohydrate. Everyone calls it creatine. This is the most tested supplement on the market. This does not do anything negative to you. The only thing that you might notice is you'll retain a little bit more water, but that is literally the function of this. You take this, you retain more water, and it pulls it into your muscles. It makes your muscles more hydrated. It gives you a better pump. It gives you a better workout. It pulls more nutrients in with that water. You can take this as much as you want, working out or not working out. It is, again, a #1 recommended thing that you need if you're ever working out. I mean, you can take this even if you're not working out. Get this. It's amazing. Next up is vitamins. Do you need vitamins? Most likely not. Vitamins are not really something that I recommend to absolutely everyone. For the most part, if you eat a varied diet, now if you're eating the exact same thing every day, like I used to eat chicken and rice or chicken and broccoli for basically every meal when I was really, really going all out, balls out on the workout. If you are just stuck with basically 2 food ingredients, you are not going to be getting all of the vitamins and minerals that you need for your diet. So having a vitamin supplement is extremely helpful for just whole body and your muscles and everything that you need. But for anyone that has a varied diet where they eat different things every single day, not boring like myself, you don't need that. The only thing that a regular human is anywhere deficient in, #1 is vitamin D, which you just get from the sun. I grew up in Washington. Almost everyone there is deficient in vitamin D just because there's not a lot of sunlight. So that's something that most nutritionists would recommend that you take. And #2, the only thing that you could possibly be deficient in with, again, a regular varied diet is iron. A lot of women are low in iron just because of the way that their body works compared to men. It's just something that happens. Usually you don't need, this is like an all-in-one. This is a daily. It gives you absolutely everything. Anything that you have more of, you just pee it out. It's not that bad except for A, D, E, and K. Don't want to over supplement those. Those will actually build up toxicity. But most people that are deficient in those take those specifically. So if you need vitamin D, take vitamin D. If you need iron, take iron supplements. You don't need one of these. I don't recommend it, but at the same time, it's really not going to hurt. If you take a one a day, once every day, it's not going to hurt you. Next up, we have fish oil. Do you need fish oil? Probably not. So fish oil is another one of those things that you probably don't need. The main thing here is the omega fatty acids fish oil is known for. You don't really need to supplement those, again, if you have a good diet. But they are helpful in very small situations. It doesn't really do, in my opinion, doesn't do a miracle of things like some other supplements do. But the fish oil is really good if you have any sort of joint issues. So my guys in the military or have ever been in the military and all of our rucks, and if you were airborne like myself and you jump out of airplanes, your knees, your elbows, back in certain situations are not as good as they used to be. So fish oil is very good of lubricating and protecting those joints. I myself personally take it just because I want to keep my knees and elbows tip-top shape. So keep that in mind. If you don't really have any joint issues, you don't need fish oil. All right, this one has a lot of controversy around it. Do I take essential amino acids or branched chain amino acids, BCAAs or EAAs? Do I take them? Do I need them? Yeah. Like I said before, certain things you really do need, and certain things, if you take more of, it's not going to hurt you in any way. This is one of them. So I have EAAs because they're far superior than BCAAs or branched chain amino acids. Essential amino acids, these right here are things your body cannot just make naturally without, I'm not going to get into it, a lot of other stuff that goes around, but this stuff you can't just make. BCAAs in your body, you can make those. So I supplement these ones. It does not hurt you in any way if you supplement this or if you have too much of this. If you see any athlete, any bodybuilder, they will always have either BCAAs or EAAs to supplement all the stuff that you can possibly have. So this, pretty much what it does is it gives you those branch chain amino acids in your body to help protein synthesis, and it just makes everything freaking wonderful. I supplement them. It's really, really, really good, at least in my opinion, for newbies and beginners, because you're gonna have a lot of soreness, and this stuff is very helpful on helping with soreness and kind of getting out of that rut. Because if you start going to the gym and you're doing really well and the next day you are so sore you don't want to move, discourages you from going back to the gym. So this is a fantastic supplement, and I always recommend it to anyone, especially new beginners.
Oh my God, pre-workout. I need it. I need the tingles.
So I very rarely take any sort of pre-workout. Honestly, the only thing pre-workout does is it's basically a stimulant. It gives you some thermogenic effect. It gives you some tingles. It makes your first part of your workout, depending on which brand that you get, the first part of your workout decent, makes you push a little bit more. But honestly, unless you have low motivation, you don't really want to go to the gym. I mean, this doesn't give you motivation, but it maximizes what you do have. I don't usually recommend pre-workout. It's not very beneficial unless you are really like a peak athlete and you really want that extra push. There's a lot of people that take it religiously and they don't know why they take it. And it's a ridiculous amount of caffeine and other stimulants in here. I guess it gives you that fake motivation to go to the gym because you're so jittery and you get the tingles. But then there's some people that don't like the tingles, so they get a less stimulating stimulant for, I guess, the caffeine. It's really confusing why people take this. I take it on days that I'm not really feeling it, and I kind of want to give me that little extra push to get into the workout, and it really gets you going the first half, at least, of my workout. I used to have a really, really strong one, and you just immediately start sweating after like 20-ish minutes of taking it. Well, it's banned now, so that tells you something. All right, guys, those are the essentials that people usually talk about, the things that I highly recommend for any new beginner. Anything that I didn't talk about, it is not an essential for a new or immediate person that's starting to get into fitness, working out, starting to really put that effort in. And of course, if you have any questions about other stuff, new stuff that comes to the market that really hasn't been tested, or something I just didn't cover in this video that is quite popular, because, stuff goes around I don't even know about. It's crazy nowadays. You can make a supplement and it's not FDA cleared or anything, so you can just make a sugar pill and throw it on the market. So there's a lot of stuff out there nowadays. If I don't know about it, put it down below in the comments. If I've heard of it or if I know anything about it, I'll go ahead and do that. If I get enough of them, I'll maybe make a part 2 on supplements that you shouldn't take, or supplements that are straight up lies, because a lot of people do that. It's horrible. People are horrible for the most part. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Join me next time for more fitness stuff.